Cool. All right, everybody, welcome to the Friday Live with DAC. I'm excited to be here. A lot of great news happening. This Friday Live is called Engaged, baby, Engaged. And we're going to talk about a couple things. First of all, a few announcements. Number one, healthcare page, your HealthShare site now has a video on it. The video is on our Vimeo page. It'll be added to the Agent Resource Center in case you want to share it in a text or something, but it's on your HealthShare page already. It's the cartoon video that was over at our partner site he played the other day. So it's going to tell a little bit more. We're also adding testimonial video at the bottom that HealthShare created. That'll be added probably within the next couple hours. But that one is already on. So good news on that. I just shared a post on my Facebook page, again, promoting it. The video is really effective. There's also another video once you click to learn more that tells a little bit more about their health insurance plans and health plans and their care coordination, which is really good. It saves you a lot of money on those copays if you use a care coordinator. But learn more about that and grab your pencil and paper. Support department as well. There's a promotion we're running that nobody knows but me. And I just decided I was trying to make a graphic before this, but it's not done. So two things, Engaged Baby. But before we talk about Engaged Baby, ERC incentive effective immediately, which means the 18th, starting today until the end of the month. So for 12 days, any ERC submitted, we're giving you 5 points instead of 4. So for the next 12 days, you're getting a 1% bonus for the next 12 days. Any submitted for the next 12 days. So it's going to be an August 18th through August 31st submission. We know it's a short window. It's a 2-week window. And then when they pay, you're going to get 5 points instead of 4. All right. So it's not going to affect the upline commissions. It's an extra 1% to you, the customer getter. It does not. We don't share the match to the upline. The enroller doesn't get it on the 5%. They still get their match on the lower amount, et cetera. But we're giving you an extra 1 point. So you're getting 5 points instead of 4, effective immediately. Any ERCs that are submitted. Now think about this. We got people who got $800,000 credits. We may have people with $1 million. I don't know. I don't look at all the deals. I don't look at all the signed things, but I know we've got one of 800,000 that came in last week. 800,000, an extra 1% is another $8,000 bonus. So they're not eligible for it. This is only on the new files as effective as of today, extra 1%. Why? Because we went to our partner and we said, can you give us an extra %? And they said on any new submissions, they will. So there you go. You got it for the next 12 days. You got an extra 1 point. So we're passing it through to you, and congratulations on that. That's why we can't give it on the old ones. We can only give it on the new ones for the next 2 weeks. It's a little incentive. So 5 points instead of 4. Now, let me just say this. You put up the numbers over the next 12 days, and we might be able to continue that into September. But there's no promise of that. So Ellen, Harlequin, anyone else on, I'm sorry, I've got some things popping up on my screen here. Anyone else coming on the company, if you've got teammates, you need to get the word out to all of them that right now ERCs are in season, if you will. It's the best season to approach. Now, we're doing this to throw out an incentive to go approach people that you maybe haven't approached yet. Someone's going to tell business owners about ERCs, or someone's not. If someone else does, they're going to earn the commission to be the hero in that business owner's eyes. You're not the hero. And if you don't and no one else does, and they learn of it after it expires, could you imagine if you personally, this will be a way that we can all grasp it. Every one of you have gotten an income tax check before. Let's say you had an income tax. Remember when you first started working, when you were 16, and man, you got an $80 check at the end of the year, or a $250 check at the end of the year. You're like, what am I going to do with my income tax return? It was like, and there's still people who just love that return coming into them. It's money they already paid. Do you realize that's what the ERC is? It's money these business owners have already paid, and they're getting it back if they know about it, but they don't know about it, or they're confused about it, or there's so much noise, they ignore it. you can be a hero and let them know they may just be eligible for free money back. And you can get an extra 1% for being the hero if you do it in August. So we're time stamping everything from today on. It could have been at midnight this morning, but from today on, yesterday, sorry, doesn't count. Today forward, you're getting the same pay plan you agreed to. You know, you agreed to come. It's like the old parable. You know, someone agrees to come out and help on the farm at 7 a.m. and they're there all day and they agree to do it for $100. And then someone else comes in at noon and they also get 100. You go, wait a minute, I started at 7. I'm only getting 100. They're starting at noon to get 100. Hey, you agreed 100 was a good deal. Don't worry about what others are getting. So 4% is very good. That's what you're getting on all deals prior to today. Today until the end of the month, 5. And let's knock the numbers out and let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. And you might just get yourself 5 points because you got someone in over the next 12 days. And we might be able to keep it going in September if we put up some good numbers to 12 days. So this is a call to action. So this is getting engaged on promoting ERCs. It's time to reach out to everyone you know. Even if it's only $100,000 credit, you make $5,000 instead of $4,000. It's $1,000 extra bucks. You may not get it till Christmas time, but that'll cover your Christmas presents. So don't sit on your can. Activity and attitude, the two most important ingredients for your success. Good attitude, good activity. Get engaged. Okay, so that's the announcement for today. Support department, sorry we didn't talk about it this morning. Sorry I didn't mention it to anyone before. It just got decided in the last 5 minutes. So we'll create a little graphic that says, what? 5%? For August ERC submissions. And hopefully in September, we put up enough new applications that we change the graphic to say September. And we're leading with 5% instead of 4%. But we can't do that if we don't hit numbers. So you guys are in control. It's like I used to say to my middle son, McGuire. He was the one we had the biggest problem with his behavior sometimes. So we'd have to not behavior, but we use his cell phone and we'd say, son, you're in control, whether you have a cell phone tomorrow or not us. You're in control. We don't control it. We're telling you the rule, you control it. You as agents control whether this 5% continues in September. Do you realize that? It's not my decision to make. It's yours through your activity and your production. You put up a jump in numbers. And the only way you can do that is track yourself. You create a jump and have your team create a jump and have others create a jump. And we'll start reporting what type of jump we have in new production because those aren't real-time reported. So we'll start telling you how we're doing. We'll start looking at that on a more natural or more regular basis and keep reporting on the Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. We'll report how we're looking. Okay. So between now and Monday, let's see a big bump. Okay, we can track that ourselves, but it's a manual lookup. Okay, so who's in control whether the 5% continues in September? Me or all of you? All of you. Heck, if 50 of you just went at it, if 50 of you just went at it like with a vigor, that's going to be a bump in numbers. So you don't need all 50,000 agents to get crazy going after this. All right, so we'll get a word out through email, but only 10% or 15% of the agents even open that. So we'll get word out that there's an incentive right now. We'll put it on the Facebook page. In fact, Tyler, if you want to throw it up or someone, Morgan, Sharon, just say what, Ellen, any one of you, and whenever you got good news like this, man, that's when you go to a Facebook page and say, what, are you kidding me? I mean, promote it, do a little video and put it up on the page on our Facebook page. Say, can you believe how awesome this is? Keep it like a short, keep it 15 seconds, 20 seconds. And let's light up the page with a great news thing like this. And let's see if we can amp the numbers up. All right. So that's number one. Tyler's already got his hand up. Go ahead, Tyler. What do you got?
So I just want to make sure that I'm understanding correctly. So it would be 50% of BR instead of 40%.
No, it's going to still be 40% of BR, but then a 10% bonus added on.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure.
We still pay the upline bonus is the same, but yes, it is 50% of BR. It'd be 40% plus a 10% bonus for 50% total. As long as we call them 40% personal commission, 10% a bonus, because the way we pay income matches are on personal commission.
Yep, I just wanted to make sure because you said 4% and 5%, just to make sure I was
Yeah,
clarifying.
yeah. Thank you for the clarification. You bet. Effectively, it's 4 and 5 because there we don't have reduced bonus revenue. Oh, we do sometimes. Sometimes they agree to a lower commission or lower fee to the customer because it's a big funding, but we always get a percentage of it. So yeah, whatever the bonus revenue is, you get 40% plus an extra 10 right now, which is a 25% raise on the next 12 months. Okay. So I'm sorry, next 12 days. And then let's rock and roll. Let's keep it locked in. I want to be able to have a case to say September, keep it going. And maybe they'll say September 1st through 15th, they'll keep it going. And then September 15th through 30th, let's keep it going. So let you guys are in control. McGuire, you're in control whether you have a cell phone tomorrow or not, based on what you do today. And guess what? We're all in control whether we have a higher percentage going forward or not. All right. So that's the announcement that was not planned, but it's in. But what do we mean by being engaged? Activity level and attitude level are critical, but that's not what I wanted to talk about today. What I wanted to focus on today was this. Okay. This is some numbers that you all need to know. Hey, Tyler, there's some people by the back door. If you want to just give it a look, if you don't mind. I don't know if they're here for us or not, but you can just give it a check. So this is funding. Okay, so now let's move over to funding. It's very important that you are all engaged in the qualification plan. And the reason I want that, like I know of someone right now, well, I'll tell you the story in a minute, but there's a lot of money left over if you're engaged, a lot of money captured by you if you're engaged. If you're not engaged in the pay plan, now this is a qualification called engaged, you miss out on your overrides and fundings. You do not earn overrides that you may have positioned yourself for. Okay. So how do you get yourself engaged? Well, there's many ways, but let me just go through this real quick. So here's you. We're talking funding here. Now, this is all in the comp plan charts if you've got one, but just for sake of real quick, I'm going to go through this. When you get a funding, I'm talking funding right now, Giggle, business funding, line of credit. I'm not talking ERCs. ERCs, you make 40% and then an extra 10% bonus for a total of 50% in the next 12 days. Otherwise, it's 40% of bonus revenue usually. Okay. So you on funding, you make 40% bonus revenue, but you can make 60, you can make 70, and you can make 80. And then on a funding, you also get first 20% of the residual revenue created on your own fundings. Okay, so let me give you an example. Let's say for an example, real quick, you have for simple math, $100,000 funding. Not all of them are full commission, but 90% are. So let's just say bonus revenue would be 10% of 100,000, right? So bonus revenue is 10,000. It's generally 10% of the funded amount. So bonus revenue is 10,000. You make 40% of 10,000. What's 40% of 10,000? $4,000. Right? Does that make sense to everybody? 40%. Now, if you're amped up, you make 60%. You make 40 plus 20. You'd make 6,000. If you're double amped, you make 40 plus 30, 70%, which is 7,000. And if you're triple, like Nick DeHane, who just got 2 fundings yesterday and got paid 80% of bonus revenue on both of them, congratulations. And they're both renewals, Nick. Isn't that awesome? You guys do a great job of working renewals, triple amp on all that revenue, nice checks. And Dad, who's an enroller, who's triple amp, makes nice amped up enroller bonuses. We're going to get into in a minute. But so this is your bonus. This is your funded amount. This is bonus revenue. What's residual revenue? Residual revenue is always 10% of bonus revenue. So residual revenue. So what we're going to put is we're going to put down the bonus revenue amount here, and we're going to put residual revenue here. Okay. Now, residual revenue, keep in mind, residual revenue, we spread it out 200 a month for however months to cover this. So it'd be 200, let's say it's July or it's August. So August, you'd have 200. September, you'd have 200. October, you'd have 200, right? There's 5,000, there's 1,000. So you have 5 months worth. November, December. You'd be qualified all the way to December with your qualifications. All right. August, September, October, November, December, 200 a month. You're qualified as a rep. Okay, now, there's other reasons that's important, which I'm going to show you. You earn 40% to 80% of your bonus revenue, depending on you amped up or no. No, then you get 40. Amped up, you get another 20, you get 60. Cool for you. And now you'd be double amped. And if you got another funding, you'd get 40 plus 30, 70. And if then you'd be triple amped. And if you got another funding, you get 40 plus 40 is 80. You make 80% of your bonus revenue. You see how you can make double by being repetitively active in funding. And do you see how it's also qualifying you in the residual pay plan? Yeah. So it's a very good thing to focus on regularly. I'm not sitting down with a list and calling clients every day, but if I were if I didn't have enough renewals coming in to keep me qualified, you bet I would. You create a target list and call every day, spend an hour of prospecting. But right now, I don't go anywhere without my cards, my business cards. And if I come across an opportunity, I talk to someone. I don't necessarily go out there canvassing an area, but I'm always curiously meeting business owners and talking to them, right? And building my warm market list. So this is your residual. So you already got this, right? Some of you are seeing this for the first time. It's in the comp plan details, but now you know what this is, right? Okay. You also make 20 to 50% of your residual revenue. So you'd be making minimum 20% of this 200, which is another 40 a month. So that's another, 20% of 1,000. You're going to make $200 more in income over the next 5 months on your own revenue, right? Okay, on your own funding, plus you're qualified. So that's part one. Now, in roller bonuses, you earn 0 to 50% match of your person's income. So I'm going to erase these because they're already written here. So here's you. You introduce me, David. David gets a funding, and let's just say it's 100,000 for sake of example. 100,000, which is how much bonus revenue? 10,000 bonus revenue. I make what? 40% of it minimum. So 40% is what? $4,000 is what David made, right? You are my enroller. As my enroller, what do you earn on my production? Well, the answer is that depends. See, in the Bible, it says the truth will set you free, but it actually says, then the truth will set you free. There's actually an if statement before it says, if you hold to my teachings, then you will really be my disciple, and then the truth will set you free. So there's a then statement, not just the truth will set you free. It's then the truth will set you free, but only after an if. It's kind of like, McGuire, you'll have your cell phone if, right? Or not if you do this. So the same thing, the truth won't set you free if you don't hold to the teachings. Well, guess what? There are things you can earn 50% match. This is an income match. This is what you earn on what they earn. You could earn 50% of my $4,000. You could earn 25% of my $4,000. You could earn 10% of my $4,000, or you could earn 0 of my $4,000. What determines that? The computer does not know you. They just know whether you're qualified or not. They just know whether you're at 0, 10, 25, or 50% match of that $4,000. Okay. So how do you get to the different levels? Well, 0 is if you've been here more than 90 days and you're not engaged, or you don't have 200 residual revenue. Do you know that if you have 200 residual revenue, you make the 10% minimum, even if you haven't gotten a funding in 5 years or never? If you have 200 residual revenue, that can come from healthcare, it can come from payment processing, it can come from customer finance, it can come from funding. It doesn't matter how you get it, but like this person here, for the next 5 months, at a minimum, would be at the 10% level because they have 200 residual revenue for 5 months, right? So if it's your first, so 0% if you don't have any qualifications, it's not your first 90 days, and you don't have 200 residual revenue. You'd make 0. So you have to actually have to qualify to earn this 10%. Okay. How do you get to 10% again? I'm going to write them over here. 10% is in your first 90 days. first 90 days, or you have 200 residual revenue the prior month. In fact, we've made it the prior month or this month. So if you did it all of last month, 200, you're qualified all this month with 200 residual revenue. Or if you've gotten in the last 10 days and it's the 12th and you weren't qualified last month, but you are this month, we're gonna be able to look back and qualify you. So there's really, we're being as liberal as we can to help you qualify for that. All right. So as long as you got 200 residual revenue, so go get it. If you don't have it yet, go get it. Okay. That's the way you get the 10%. Now, and keep it. I mean, that should be the bare minimum. You should have 200 in customer revenue, bare minimum. Keep getting customers on all of our services, and you'll never have to worry about, okay, oh, I'm going to go back to this. You, me, David, $10,000 bonus revenue on 100K funding, right? I make $4,000 income. Sorry, I erased that. Okay, now you see what you get for 25%, right? Now, I'm sorry, for 10%. If you were qualified for the 10%, you would have made $400 for enrolling me. Good for you. Don't you want me to get more fundings? Yeah, but wouldn't you have rather made 25% of that $4,000? Instead of making 400, you could have made 1,000. How? By being engaged. How do you become engaged? There's a couple ways. Number one, a new client. A new funding client gets you engaged for 60 days. Okay, you go get a new client, you're engaged for 60 days. Now, in addition to that, there's another way to be engaged. Have renewal clients. Renewal clients who total of 600 bonus revenue or higher. So if you had a new renewal come in and they did 600 bonus revenue or more, which is basically a $6,000 funding, you'd be engaged for 60 more days. Okay, so those are the two ways to get engaged. The third way is to be an area director or above qualified. Area director and higher, you're always engaged. No matter what, the minimum you make now is 25% on these. So area director and above, you want to get to. Get to that, set that rank up and just get there. That way you're always qualified for these bonuses. All right, so that's engaged. You got that? If you were engaged, you'd make 25% on that 4,000. How do you make 50%? You get amped. How do you get amped? There's only one way to get amped. New clients, new funding clients only with 600 BR or higher. 600 bonus revenue or higher. So $6,000 funding or higher. Giggle customers won't count unless it's a 6,000 or higher, right? Or 600 bonus revenue, I should say. So 600 bonus revenue, new client makes you amped up. Now remember what amped up does, it makes you higher up here, but it also gives you 50% enroller bonus. So we say get amped and stay amped. Why? You always get more on your personal fundings. You're always contributing more money to your residual revenue to keep you qualified for everything and both sides of the pay plan, the residual and the bonus, and you're making the maximum on your personal level. Okay, so you make 50% of that $4,000, you make $2,000. So Matthew, if you don't mind me sharing, Matthew's amped up. Nicholas is his son. Nicholas just got 2 renewals and he earned big commissions on those. Matthew happened to get 50% of the personal commission portion. So you only get it on this portion. Just so we're clear, let's say I was amped up and I made 6,000. So I made 4,000 plus 2,000. How did I make 4,000 plus 2,000? I made 4,000 in personal commission, and then I made 2,000 in a bonus called an amped up bonus. When you make your match on me, if you're amped up, you're making 50%, you make it on the personal commission portion only. You don't also get it on the bonus. So in this example, let's say you're my enroller, you're amped and I'm amped. I made $6,000. Woohoo! You're going to make 50% of $6,000? No, you're making 50% of 4. What if I'm triple amped? Or double amped? I made another 1,000. This is my double amp bonus. What if I'm triple amped? I made another 1,000. That's my triple amp bonus. So these 3 bonuses are additional money. They're bonuses. You get paid your match on my personal commission portion, the 4,000. Okay, does that make sense? So I may have made 8,000. Nick triple amped made 80% of bonus revenue on both of those fundings. Good for him. 40% of it was personal commission, 40% was bonuses. Matthew made 50% of his personal commission, which was 40%. So Matthew made 20% of bonus revenue on both of those fundings, which is half of 40%. That adds up huge. We're talking about checks with commas in them. Okay. So that is about being engaged, baby. Get engaged to stay engaged, but really shoot to be amped up and stay amped. If you stay amped, you're actually going to become triple amped. You can't stay amped without becoming triple amped. Because every time you get a new client, if you're already amped, now you become double amped. And every time you get a new client, if you're already double amped, you become triple amped. And every time you get a client, if you're already triple amped, you stay there. Or if you're double, you become triple, and then you stay there. And every time you get a new client, you add more 30 days. A new client. Renewals don't keep your triple amp going. You may get paid triple amped on it. It increases your engaged. But remember, the only way to move your amped up along is new clients who've never gotten funding with us before. Okay. And ERCs don't count until we get paid on them. So there's a lot of you are going to have ERC clients coming through that you got 6 months ago, and they're going to amp you up now. And we don't count it till we get paid, because sometimes they're never going to pay, right? They just won't, they won't pay their fee, and we won't get paid, and you don't get paid. So small percent of time, but that's when we get paid, you get paid. All right. So that's what I want to talk about. But the real reason I brought this up today is not for these two. We could stop right there. Don't we have a pay plan already that is just unbelievable? You don't need anything but enroller bonuses and personal bonuses. There's companies who are trying to create affiliate plans because their pay plans are so deep heavy. They pay so much on their lower levels and not much on the first level that they got to change all their plans, because the world is switched to, we want more of an affiliate model where I can make great money myself. And if I enroll, I only need 1 level of pay. Most of these companies are coming out with 1 level pay. We've got our 1 level pay right here called enroller and personal. That alone, you can make full-time money just on this alone. Okay. So you don't need overrides and coding, and you don't need 7-level residuals and all that other stuff. But we do offer that as well, because we want to incent leaders to build national teams or regional teams. So you do that not by not paying just 1 level. But can't you see here with what we're paying? If you add all this up, that's huge. That's huge. But this is what I want to talk about engage, because overrides, we pay another 0 or 10 all the way up to 50% more income match in overrides through your team. Okay, so it's not just on you personally enrolled. It's on their enrolled and their enrolled and their enrolled team, and this team and this team and this team and this team, to the first person up the ladder at a certain rank who's also engaged. They must be engaged. Overrides are only paid to engaged. And now again, one way to be engaged is be an area director or above. So as long as you're area director, you're engaged. But engaged is required to get these bonuses. So how do you get engaged again? A new funding or a renewal funding of 600. Now, is there a minimum on the new funding? No, it can be a giggle customer. So in fact, I know of a story right now of someone in the last 30 days made over $10,000, not on personal commissions in their teams, in DAC, over 10 grand, who's engaged from a giggle customer that wasn't even $1,000 funding. But because of that giggle customer, they've made over 10 grand in overrides. So what was that giggle customer worth? It popped my head off too. 10 times what they got in funding. So I can't do any more except go, I just pull the curtain back. At this point, it's like, we talked about healthcare, we talked about ERCs, we talked about all this stuff. If you want a car, I was talking to Tyler this morning. I said, when I first got in this industry, I worked at General Motors and my motivation was to drive out of that parking lot in a convertible BMW. I was going to resign in a BMW with my top down and I was driving. I wasn't thinking retirement. I was thinking get rich, have a car sitting on chrome with the top down and not have to go to GM every day. Look at me. That's what I want. That's what motivated me to go to work. If you would have been talking to me about values and retirement and 401ks, I was like, well, yeah, what are you, 40? What are you, 30? I'm 23. I want a BMW driving fast with my top down. I want a jet ski, right? I got plenty of time to make money. That's how 22-year-olds, 23-year-olds think some, right? So if you want money because your retirement is way behind, if you want money because you want a Lamborghini, if you want money because you want to go buy the coolest, whatever it is, the nicest boat with 5 big engines off the back and big, long afternoon or weekender, if you want it because you want to become an expatriate and go live in South America and live on $4,000 a month and not have to deal with stuff that you don't want in America, you want the climate of South America, you want to go live in Alaska. I don't know your goals, what the reasons are, but you don't need any other model except what you've seen right here to get you there financially. Because this you control by how many people you recruit and how you recruit them. And this you control by getting yourself positioned. Because if you have 100 agents, that person who made over 10 grand, we're not talking about on hundreds of fundings. We're talking probably on 10 fundings, 15 fundings, over 10 grand in overrides on maybe 15. I don't know, maybe it's 20 fundings, but I got a feeling it's more like 10 or 15 fundings because you're making 25% of what they make. You only need 40 grand in commissions in your team to make 10 grand. And if you're getting overrides, and you're at the 20 or 30% level, let's say you're at the 25% level, you're making 25% of what all your team makes. You only need 40,000 in commissions going in your team for you to make 10, but you don't get any of it if you're not engaged. You don't get the overrides if you're not engaged. Now you can get the residual revenue that's put into the residual plan, but this is reserved. And coding is another 0 to 30%. These are more bonuses reserved only for people who are engaged. You must become an area director or get a client every 60 days. You must to get this and this. It's not for people who aren't active getting customers, and it's not for people who aren't area directors. They're not eligible. You must be engaged or achieve the area director rank. It's the rule of the game, son. You give me your mobile phone. I told you you had to do ABC. You didn't do it. You're in control whether you have the phone tomorrow. You didn't do ABC. Give me the phone. Thank you. Tomorrow you'll control whether you have it back based on what you do today. Not me. I don't control that. You do. Here's the rules. Here's the rules. You see it. Now the question is, will you today do what you need to do to earn it? Or will you do enough activity today that it's predictable if you do the same amount of activity today and tomorrow and the next and the next and the next day, you'll probably within the next week or two become engaged. Because if you don't do that predictable activity, that activity that creates predictable results, enough of it, then if the clock expires and you're not engaged, what happens to these bonuses? What happens to this bonus? Remember we said it looks upline. So I'll just give you a little trail. I'll just show you how this works. This 0%, then 10, it actually looks like this. This is how the bonuses add up. It's 10 to the first DAC 1 upline, who's engaged. 5% match goes to the first DAC 2 upline, who's engaged. Here's me. Let's say I'm a DAC 4. And 15 goes to the first DAC 4 and above, who's engaged. And let's say I'm a DAC 4, and here's Lisa, and here's Marge, and you probably can't see Marge, so we'll stop there. Marge gets a funding and makes $2,000, let's just say, for simple math. They make $2,000 in personal commission. Lisa's the enroller. She is or is not going to earn 0, 10, 25, or 50% on that 2,000. She determines whether she makes 0, 10, 25, or 50. She does. Is it her first 90 days? Then she makes 10 minimum. If not, she's either engaged, has 200 PR, or she's amped up. One of the three things is going to determine whether she makes 10, 25. Who's in charge of that? Lisa. Okay, so Lisa either gets some money or doesn't. That does not roll up to anyone. That either goes to the enroller or it doesn't go get paid. Dave's a DAC 4, but Dave's not engaged because I haven't been active. So I'm not engaged and I'm not an area director. So the 10% match, which is $200, 200 looks upline to the first DAC 4. Oh, there's Dave. Is he DAC 4? Yeah, but he's not engaged. So does Dave get the $200? No. It goes by Dave and looks upline to the first DAC 1 or above who's engaged. They get the $200. And then 5% goes to the DAC 2 or above, which is $100. Looks up, oh, Dave, sorry, you're not qualified. You're not engaged. So that $100 goes above. So we pay it out to someone. We're just paying it out to the active upline, the person who's DAC 2 and engaged. And then the 15%, which is $300, that goes looking upline to the first DAC 4 or above. Dave's a DAC 4. Oh, but you're not eligible because you're not engaged. So that $300 goes past you, Dave. Now that Giggle client could have been worth 200 plus 100 plus 300, $600 or 30% of that $200 I could have earned had I just got a Giggle client in the last 60 days. Giggle counting toward engaged costs us so much money in enroller bonuses because this 25% you get instead of 10 or 0. It doesn't save us anything, the company, on these, because we pay these overrides to somebody. They're just missed by this person, me, and they go to someone who did get qualified, who did control their destiny. So there's also an AD, an RD, an ND, right? There's other bonuses. There's coding bonuses. There's other bonuses. I'm just showing you DAC 1 through 4 that get paid out. If you're not engaged, it goes by you to someone above you. We don't want that to happen, but we can't stop it from happening. Unless we just took the qualification away. But then how do you pay? It's socialism. It's okay. We've got $100,000 in commissions to spend out this month, and we've got 50,000 reps, so everyone gets $2. Why? Because we have no qualifications, so we split it equally. Yeah, but there's 100 people who created that 100,000 in commission. I know, but we're socialists, so we all get to share it equally because we believe in equality. Wait a minute. You mean equality of opportunity or quality of outcome? Well, equality. Well, no. Equality of opportunity where we can all earn the same, or equality of outcome where we all get the same? Because if we all get the same, I'm not getting any more clients. Because if I got to keep getting all the clients to help everyone get $2, I'm not getting clients anymore. Why would I do that? Why would I go doing all the work? I mean, I'll still get clients to help them, but I'm going to do something else for my income, because if I don't get to benefit, so you have to have qualifications to pay the performers the unbalanced share because they're the performers. So they should get more than the non-performers, right? This is capitalism, and it's the most fair thing, because I'm not saying, oh, sorry, because of your gender, we're only paying you a 32%. Oh, because of your color, I'm going to pay you 58% to try to make up for some past wrongs. Oh, because you're Asian, we're going to pay you 18% only. Why? Because IQ-wise, you've got an advantage over me as a white person. So we're going to give you a higher, because we got to make everything equal, right? No, equality of opportunity is equality of opportunity. Everybody has the same thing. Now, I'm at a disadvantage being 56 and bald, right? I can't recruit as many 22-year-olds as I could when I was 22. I'm at a disadvantage to a 23-year-old. But guess what? I have wisdom a 23-year-old doesn't have. So they're at a disadvantage to me. Can you make the world fair? All you can do is give the same track for everyone to run on and say, hey, maybe you've got real long legs and you're top heavy and you're not going to be able to get around the track as much as that guy who's got more compact body structure and more balance, and he's going to be able to run differently than you. Or she's going to be able to get in the kayak better and stronger. She's stronger upper body, so she's going to be a better kayaker than you. Come on, we can't make the world fair. All we can do is make the track the same for everybody. And then you bring what you can to the track and you get it done. So you got to bring results to get paid these things. Well, Dave, I'm not even DAC 4. Okay, well, who's that responsible for that? We're not saying, nope, we're not letting you have DAC 4. Nope, we're declining your clients. We don't like you. There's nothing like that. We don't look at color. We don't ask color. We don't ask race. We don't ask gender. We don't ask nationality. We don't ask anything. We get an application, the computer's doing the funding, and away we go. There's no discrimination against anything here. What we have here is called freedom, and it's free to get involved. So there's no reason someone can't get involved. Now, get your fanny engaged if you're not engaged. That means qualified as engaged. And get your fanny amped up so you can be climbing this amped up ladder, and get your fanny amped up so you can make 50%. And if you're amped up, of course you're engaged. You can't get amped up without getting 60 more days of engaged. So every time you get amped up, of course you're engaged. So if there's one prize to focus on, my brother was a real good, I was up north a few weeks ago and I went skeet shooting. They called sporting clay. And it's like a golf course. We had 14 places you go to, and they have the skeets take off in different area, and then you go drive your golf cart to another one. There's new things take off, boom, boom. I'm not that guy. My brother literally won the national championship of that. My brother, he's the same genes as me, same genetic. He literally won the national championship for sporting clay. And then he went to Australia and he goes, man, at the world level, it's a whole different game. No, it's a whole different game where you're at too. It took me 8 stations. I said, okay, there's 13 stations. I said, okay, I got till station 7. I haven't hit one yet. I haven't even hit one. And I'm like, I don't get this. I go to a rifle range and I can hit the bullseye like this, but they're like, well, you got to lead them. I mean, the things are flying. You got to shoot in front of them. I'm like, what do you mean shoot? It's a gun. I mean, how slow is this? And you got to shoot in front of it. It took me 8 stations to figure out how to hit a clay. And it was like, ding, it barely hit anything. Why do I even share this? Because I was just going area, like throwing a football. I'm going to get it to the area. The guy's going to get there. My passing skills are amazing, right? Because all you got to do is get it to an area. I'm not playing professional. Skeet shooting, I'm like, I can't believe this. Now, I ended up going 1 for 2 on all the last stations. I figured it out, but still not good at it. But I started aiming small. I started looking right down. Instead of just general shooting, I started aiming small. My brother used to always say, aim small, miss small. So if you aim at a real small target, now that's at a bullseye. He did that with archery. He's real good with archery too. And aim small, miss small. Well, I'm aiming small, but I'm missing large. But even if you miss large, if you're aiming small, if you try to hit a target this big, you're going to probably miss it sometimes. But if you only aim at that little bullseye, that little bullseye, and you miss, maybe you'll hit over here. Maybe you'll hit there. But look, you're still way in the screen. You still are on. And so amped up is where you want to be targeted for. Shoot for amped up and miss small. Hey, if you don't get amped up and it took you 5 weeks to get a funding instead of 4, and your amped up fell, you're still engaged for a whole nother month. And now you're engaged for 2 months after that. So amped up is what you always want to be focused on. Get amped, stay amped. Get amped, stay amped. Get amped, stay amped. All right. Now, I know the ERC bonus we launched today does not get you amped up today, but it does when it funds. So I would say right now, if I'm not engaged and I'm not amped, I got two things I'm leading with. Now, you may be leading with healthcare. You may be leading with what you can't get engaged through healthcare. You can get qualified for the 10%, but that doesn't help you with your overrides. You gotta have funding clients to be engaged, or you got to get to area director level. So you may say, hey, I'll sacrifice all those overrides until I'm, and by the way, you can't even get DAC 1, DAC 2, DAC 4 without getting clients anyway. So you're not qualified to get paid on these till you've gotten clients. This needs 1 client, this needs 2, this needs 4. So you got to get clients before you can even start getting these overrides anyway. So if you've never gotten a client, you're not eligible. You're not missing out on anything because you're not eligible anyway. But as you go to do this, if I'm you, I've got one game plan right now. Get amped, okay, and blow out the ERCs. So right now, my focus forward is I may have a list of people I'm going to approach about the healthcare, and I'm just going to find out quick. I mean, go through it quick. You got 10 people in your name, call them all today, and just let them know, hey, you got a healthcare. Are you interested in doing a quote? I can send you a link to fill out. I'd love to save your family money. Are you interested in taking a look at it? If you know anyone in real estate, get them to look at this. You know anyone who's a 1099 worker, get them to look at this. They don't have a healthcare that can do this. They don't have it. You can help them. Make them on the list, call them. Okay, business owners, you need to call them right now. If they got employees, and you got to find out whether they were eligible for ERCs or not. You can ask a few basic questions if they're eligible or not. Did you have employees during the shutdown? Yeah. Did you lay them off? Yeah. Okay, then you're not eligible. Did you have them through a period where you didn't lay them off? Any quarters where you didn't lay them off, where you paid W-2 employees? Yeah. Okay, during those quarters, you're eligible still, potentially. Did your sales go down? No, they went up. Well, did you have a negative impact where did a government shut you down? No, I didn't have an impact at all. My business grew. Okay, then you're not eligible. But you can ask some sorting questions right from our website. If you don't know them, go to the site, click on it, and look at the 5 questions. Did you have W-2 employees? Did you have a downturn in sales? Did you have a government order impact your sales? Or did you start a new business during a certain period of time? If so, then you're eligible. It's right on our website. So ask those questions, sort them. So reach out, inform, and sort, and get them to fill it out between now and the 1st of the month. This is the time to approach ERCs. If ever you've been going, this is the time. 5 points rather than 4. 5 points or 50% rather than 40%. You get the 40 plus a 10% bonus right now on any submissions that you get between now and the end of the month. Okay, so you got to get after it. So promote the healthcare to those people. They're usually individuals. Promote the business services to business owners. You start with the ERC and then also inform about your funding. And if both of those fall through, tell them about payment processing. You don't do it all in the same call, but in your mind, you're like, hey, by the way, I know I called you a couple of days about funding. Hey, by the way, we're in payment processing as well. Is there any chance I might be able to save you some money there? I mean, I'd hate for you to be paying some sales agent more than you need to be. I'd rather take better care of you, and I don't mind making less than they are. Whatever comes to your mind. I've never said that. I have said that when I've told them they could sign up as an agent for themselves. If I don't get anywhere in payment processing, I could say, hey, by the way, I'm not trying to make a commission on you. I want to sign you up as an agent in our company, and you'll make the commission on yourself. So whoever your sales agent is probably making about 1/4% of your sales every month, even though you haven't talked to them in 3 years. I'd rather you get that 1/4%. So if you want, we'll sign you up. You can become an agent for free. You'll earn the commission each month instead of what's the girl's name or guy's name? I don't remember. They signed me up when I opened my business. Okay, there's my point. I'd rather you get it. So that's a good way to land someone who's not responsive. But so back to the plan, you're approaching the individuals about the healthcare. You're approaching business owners about ERCs and funding. And you fall back to the payment processing or the Relevate or the other product that you feel that you want to lead with. That's what you're doing right now. That's how you increase your income. That's how you get that BMW and drive out of General Motors. That's how you get that Ferrari. That's how you get that retirement caught up. That's how you buy the vacation home. That's how you get that cruise. That's how you flash your success. If you've got people telling you you'll never make it, that's what you can go show them. Blow up a check if you want and put it on your chimney and say, look, you naysayers, you said I'd never do it. Look what I'm doing. And I'm doing it all by helping business owners or consumers. So that's what we got to do right now. Make your list, call your list, make your list, call your list, make your list, call your list, make your list, call your list. Just find out yes or no. Your job is to inform and qualify, inform and qualify, inform and qualify. And if qualify, move to the website where experts are waiting to take care of your clients. Move to the website where experts are waiting to take care of your clients. I got to show you this. I started making this the other day. Let me open this. I'm going to share my screen. That's the comp plan file, open recent. BizOp affiliate right there. Okay, let me show you this screen. Go back to Zoom, share screen. Share screen. Check this out. I was making this for our BizOp presentation. I don't know if I'm going to use it or not. But doesn't that explain what we do? You're the agents. You inform about services to the prospective customers. You direct to your web forms where they fill out an intake form, and then there's experts waiting to take care of them, answering their questions for funding or activating them to the service. That's what we do. Now, here's the question. This right here, can you see my cursor moving? I don't know if my cursor's on screen or not, but the first blue arrow, inform about services, this is where everything breaks. This is what determines your income level right there. Now we could have another section over here that says prospective agents, and you recruit them, and then they go to your website where there's the training and the team to support them. But we're just talking about getting customers here. This is what we do. From outreach to expertise. It's actually our job, not our client's job, our agent's job. So that's an error. So you see, this is what I'm still working on it, but you get the idea. Where's it at here? Right there. It's not our client's job. Oh, our client's journey. Okay. That is our client's journey. So folks, this is what we got to do more of. Right here is you. The first step, that's you. And if you're not moving here and sitting at your desk doing there, then guess what? None of this is happening. And if none of this is happening, no income is being earned. And if this is happening, income is being earned. 2 stories for you and I'm done. Story number 1, paid a commission today on someone who applied in June for funding. They applied for June in funding. My screen is no longer being shared, right? Yeah. They applied for June in funding and they got funded today. Why? Because 2 things. And by the way, my audio has probably been bad because I've been plugged into this. Number 1, our Bank Breezy team reached out to them about over 30 times. And they'd gotten the offer, they accepted the offer, they signed the documents and wouldn't show up for the funding call. And then went through it again. And same scenario, and Bank Breezy team kept reaching out and the funder was very patient and they did it again. Said, okay, I'm ready to go. And then didn't show up to the funding call. And then a third time, they said, okay, I'm ready to take it. And the Bank Breezy team reached out to the agent and said to the agent, hey, can you do us a favor and talk to the client, because the client keeps doing this and we're going to lose this deal. The funders are done. They're done with the games. They spend a lot of time and money putting these things together. And if they're not going to show up to talk about getting the funding, which is called the funding call, they're going to be declined. And if they get declined, they're not going to open the file again. They're done. They've already done it twice. It's inconsiderate. And so the funder or the agent reached out to the client, was able to get the client on the phone. The client said, yes, we'll do it. So great job, agent. You did a fabulous job bringing that forward. In fact, I want to get my glasses so I can tell you the name. It was his first funding, which is fabulous. So congratulations to, let me go back here. Sorry. Maybe it wasn't the first funding. I apologize. But anyway, the moral of the story is agent did their part. And with the agent doing their part, the funding happened. And I want to find it here. William. The last name is hard to pronounce. So I'm going to I'm going to give it a try though. William Mawakil, Muwwakkil. William, great job. You stayed, followed up with the client. You helped with the client. You helped the Bank Breezy team. But cheers to the funder and cheers to the Bank Breezy team as well for staying in contact over and over and finally saying, William, we need your help. And the agent did exactly what they were supposed to do. Stayed out of the way, but it was able to get the client to move forward and get on the darn call. All right. So great stuff there. Also, we had another funding that Colleen, you're going to learn about. Colleen just had a renewal come through today. And I learned today that this is a client that has been in the process for the last couple months as well. And our Bank Breezy team, same thing, a lot of follow-up, deals decline, then they're able to move some things around. And because of that, they're getting another funding. So I just tip my hat off to the Bank Breezy team. You don't get that when you got to do it all yourself. And they're doing it, and they got funders who are patient with us because of our numbers. And so I just want to tip my hat to all of you. I know I've gone long today. I've been talking about a lot of stuff. So I want to end at this point. But the takeaways are the healthcare video is live. Get the word out to any individuals you know. You can save them on their healthcare, and that can get you to the $40 residual revenue per client. You only need 5, and you're at the 200 level. You'd always be at the 10% enroller pay just from that alone. So great product, not only what you can earn on. So get the word out on that, save people money. Like I said, I'm saving $7,000 a year in premiums, and I've got better deductibles and better coverage. Okay. I know they're called different things. I know they're not called deductibles, they're called maximums, but it's the same thing. Okay. And then ERCs, 1% or 10% of bonus revenue bonus from today, the 18th, till the end of the month. And if we can rock the numbers, we might have an argument to keep it going in September. But if we don't rock the numbers, if we don't see a bump, a significant bump, that's a lot of extra money. It's a lot of extra money. If we don't see that bump, then it will go away. So get the word out. It's a good time to bump it up. Okay, let's bump this. And then, of course, get yourself engaged, get yourself amped for all the reasons we put on the whiteboard. Aim small and amped up. Go for it, go for it, go for it. I mean, it's aiming big, really, but it's, you know what I mean? Keep the target laser focused. Get amped up, get amped up, get amped up. And while also getting healthcare customers, while also getting ERC customers, right? I mean, you can do it all. It's, imagine this, you're getting wedded, you're getting married, you got to invite people, and you got to pick out a cake, and you got to pick out a dress, and you get over it. Everybody's done it. You can do it. Guess what? You can also call people about healthcare. You can also call people about ERCs. You can also call people about funding. You can also watch video trainings on all of it and be comfortable, and you can call your upline leader and do it. Guess what? You can do it. No whining. Let's just do it. Win, not whine. Win, not whine. Have a glass of wine at the end of the night, but win first. Don't whine all day long, because then you don't deserve to enjoy yourself at night. All right. With that, let's go to your Q&A if you have any.
PK had her hand up.
Hey, David, happy Friday.
You as well, PK.
I've just got a quick question, and I think I was going to ask this question on Monday, but I was having problems. I was, reevaluating everything and re-listening to different comp plans and stuff like that, because I'm behind. But one of the things I was wondering that I wanted to ask you, like when we were on the old Youngevity back office, I'm just giving an example. Let's say, on the old Youngevity back office, it showed you had 10 clients. And then on the new DAC back office, it shows you have 1 client. Does that mean that probably the previous clients, they just have, like, because I've been out of pocket, they just no longer do business with DAC anymore, or they just haven't been doing any renewals in like more than 6 months or a year, or what does that mean?
Good question. Yeah. So what's on there, what you see in your back office is customers for this year. So anyone who got funding this year would be listed in your DAC back office. Renewal.
Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah,
Yep.
That makes more sense. Thank you so much. That's all I had.
You bet. And then as you have more, as you click on personal customers, you'll see them all listed. And if you click on it, you can see their details if they've got multiple funding, et cetera. And we're improving those. I mean, as we look at them, I say, okay, as a rep, I'd want this and this and this. So we request it, and there's a wish list of improvement. And by the way, we had a great call with our app company yesterday. We're doing another one Monday, and that's now starting in development. In fact, they started developing it last night. So we're very excited about that coming forward too, which is a tool that you guys are all going to get free of charge. Every other company in America charges for it. You're going to get it free of charge because DAC is going to cover it. And we think it's going to help your sales. If we find that you guys aren't increasing sales and you're not using it, we'll pull the plug on it, right? Because we got to pay every month to have it. So just know that we're expecting, if we pay for bills for things, we expect them to be used. Otherwise, they're being abused as far as we're concerned because they're being ignored. Then our pocketbooks, it's not good use. But we're planning on it being a great product. We're investing a lot of time and money into it. And so we're looking forward to you guys getting your hands on that. We got V and then Ellen and Harlequin. Is that right?
This is V. Am I heard?
You are heard.
Happy Friday, everyone. Quick comments and a question.
Yes.
Because I'm new to all of this, I don't see everything on every call, but I like those signs behind you, David. Sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. The hope anchors the soul. So very inspirational. Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
What about the Michigan helmet that I bought yesterday?
Oh, okay,
It's
cool.
a new lights. Do you like it?
Cool. I like it. I've never said this, but I'm a Michigander as well. I was born in Saginaw.
I love it.
I don't live there
it.
now, but I'm from the state. Okay,
All right.
next comment. I am very much amped up on the healthcare. I was on a call with someone from Clearwater this morning. This is a game changer. Wow. I mean, I heard you explaining it, but now that I've had my conversation and asked my questions, I'm like, unbelievable. I'm all over this. Okay, next comment. This is from last Friday when my connection didn't work. I really appreciated the thing you said about people who've been incarcerated. You've often saying you're Christian, it's a Christian company, and at the heart of Christianity is forgiveness. So we should not be turning people away because they made some mistakes. If they repented, we want to move forward with them. On a very practical note, anyone who was incarcerated because of any illegal sales, they are perfect for this kind of business. They can build a network. So I think people out there listening to this, keep that in mind. They know how to do this because they were.
I think we lost you, V. We lost her call. Her call may have dropped right then. And I think what she was talking about was people who built networks. Some people did illegal sales, drug sales, things like that. Built some amazing networks throughout their city. I mean, it's not that we want to applaud that activity because it was an illegal substance being sold, if that's what she was talking about. But there's some great leaders in that space. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people say some of the biggest cartels are led by people who could be leaders of countries because they're such good leaders, but they just got the wrong product to promote. But
Right.
yeah, V,
Am I
we're in
still, can you hear
favor.
me?
We can hear you back now. We lost you. But
Okay. Yeah, so that's all I was saying. Like, again, they have an opportunity to use those skills for something legal and for something good. So that's something that one wants to take advantage of. Okay, last comment. The whole the whole protocols around printing out the business cards through Canva, this is so much better than what you had before. I mean, I'm new to everything, but I have all of my little cards ready to go. I have my business card. I mean, I will eventually print out things, but the QR code, most people are walking around with their mobile phones. So what I'm doing now, I'm talking to people and I just, if I'm talking about everything, oh, here's my business card. It takes you to everything. Take a look. I have one for ERC, one for Biz Funding, one for everything I'm doing. I have my little cards for it and they're right there on my phone. Now, here comes my question. Back to the enroller thing. You mentioned about the 10% that one can get if one has been with DAC for 90 days or one has a $200 residual revenue. So my
Yes.
question is, let's say you have both of those things. Does that 10% grow? Does it
No.
become
No,
40% or is it either or?
It's two ways to qualify for it. Your first 90 days or 200 revenue. You don't get more for being in your first 90 days and having 200.
Okay, you never know. You got to ask. Thank you.
Absolutely. Those are how ideas come up. There's an interview with Elon Musk, and he's being asked a question by a reporter, and he says, well, you do that just for the rocket thrusters, right? You don't do it for the boosters, do you? And he goes, no. He goes, wait a minute. On second thought, yeah, we're going to change that. We're going to do it on both. And because if you don't think about it, you don't add it. So those are the type, when you ask a question like that, you go, that might be an idea that we come up with, some sort of higher enroller bonus because it's your first 30 days and you've already produced some revenue. Let's give you a reward for it. So, we could add 10 more complexities to our pay plan, but unfortunately, most people never learn about them because there's just so many things. So simplification sometimes matters more than addition. But great question, and thanks for asking. And great enthusiasm, and I'm glad. I worked on the Canva thing yesterday myself, just testing different things, and it's a great way to get cards. I've still got my cards that I got. This literally is a card I printed before I ever had my first client. It's got the old logo. It's got my name, my big old website with my agent ID. And this was my first card. But what's good about this? A little billboard on the back. It's a billboard. This little card explains the business. So I said, Tyler, we need a card that explains the business on the backs. Just say simple and fast business funding, and maybe one for ERCs. And so if someone just has this, it's a mini billboard too. And so you'll see those designs are in Canva as of yesterday. They were posted yesterday. Good stuff. Thanks, V. All right, Ellen, and then Harlequin.
Happy Friday, man. What good stuff. Thank you for bringing that extra bonus to the table on ERCs. Maybe that'll bring some of our people back that thought they were making more money somewhere else, or they needed that upfront bonus that we didn't have. Maybe we can get them re-engaged here with that. Hey, I got a couple of questions or requests. One, in our back office, David, in my team, under my list view, where we can pull up our organization, we only have the option to search for someone by their agent ID number, first or last name. Is there a feature that you can toggle on that allows us to search by a company name, since we have so many people that enroll under a company now?
Yeah, I know you've asked me that offline, and I have sent that over to them. It's on the list of additions. It's just not a high priority right now, but it will be a feature eventually.
Okay, I know some of those are just you checking a little switch in there, and I didn't know if you had an opportunity to look at it.
No, we don't have the ability to modify that ourselves. Otherwise, we would say search any way you want, email address, anything. Yeah.
Awesome. I love the video on the healthcare page, and would love to see that same thing, that the way that that's positioned on the page, so it's obvious there's a video. Would love to see that with the business funding and the Relevate videos as well, because they're hidden behind a button. And if you're not really looking for a video or clicking on buttons, you don't even know there's a video there, especially with Relevate, because that video really tells the story, and it should be front and center. But one more thing on that video.
By the way, Ellen, on that, Tyler's working on that next door right now, actually.
Okay.
That layout is going to be across all the pages.
Awesome. And hopefully Tyler can hear what I'm saying, or you can bring this to him. On that video, it's got the Vimeo logo on the healthcare page. So when you look at it in the bottom right corner of the video, it's got the Vimeo V, right?
I can turn that off.
If somebody clicks on that, that takes them over to the agent channel, which really isn't where we need to be sending our clients. So in the Vimeo page settings, you have the ability to uncheck where it shows the Vimeo logo. So that way it's just housed on our page and doesn't go anywhere else.
I'm doing it as we talk.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
I know exactly what you're talking about. It's the Vimeo branding.
Awesome.
Yeah, we'll have that removed from both of them. Because
Awesome.
there's also the testimonials and stuff too. So we'll make sure that as we add videos, we remove all those little features they have. So I'm not going to do it while we talk, because I could screw it up. He might be doing it, but I don't want to do the wrong thing to the wrong videos here while we're live.
One
But yeah,
other
great
question.
stuff. We'll remove them for sure.
Awesome. One other question on the healthcare page. I look around and we've got a schedule a call button. We've got the get a quote, view plans and all of that, but all of them just go over to the form to fill out. Is there a plan to change where those buttons go to, or all of them are still going to go over to the form?
Originally, the design was to go to a specific place on their page. There was a reason, I think it was the tracking of the
Let me
ID.
chime in here.
Go
So I can
ahead.
explain it because I know the logic. So no matter what, it goes to that form to get the initial like client's information. And then based on what they clicked, when they get forwarded over to the other Clear DAC site, it'll land them on different spots on their site. So we just gathered the initial information and then forward them off based on where they clicked.
Okay.
Yeah, we
Makes
have
more
to,
sense.
if we want to capture your ID number, we had to have that form. And if they start looking around the site and leave a form page first, we haven't captured your clients with them yet. They haven't entered anything. We don't know they've come to the site and we could lose them. So once they fill out that form, then as Tyler says, they go to the appropriate page that they wanted to either book a call or learn more or whatever.
Okay, that makes sense. Perfect.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tyler, for jumping in on that. Who else do we have? I'm on a different screen right now.
Hey, Dave,
Carla
it's
Quinn,
Harlequin.
you can unmute yourself.
Yep. Hey, I have a quick question. I want to confirm something and then a request based on the answer. On our group residual revenue, the when you move up the to the different levels, that is based on just the group volume, not including your personal residual revenue, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Is there a way in our back office that our personal residual revenue can be taken out of the group residual revenue number?
I'm sure we can. Though, as of right now, first of all, it's not even accurate. The numbers you're looking at aren't completely accurate, number one. So that's some of the stuff they're working on. That's why we're still paying manually bonuses, because certain things aren't tracking correctly on Amped Up, Engaged and stuff, and BRR and RRR, or residual revenue and bonus revenue, hitting the system the right way. So just hang tight on all that. I say by Wednesday of next week, it'll all be accurate. But as of right now, it's not. So that's one of the things we can do is we want to have a personal volume, and we've already sent them the report. It's going to be like we used to have, which will show your personal volume and your group volume, and they're separate. You click on group volume and it downloads. So yes, you'll be able to toggle and see that.
Okay,
You won't have
awesome.
to toggle, it'll be a separate report.
Awesome. And thank you for negotiating that extra 1% on ERCs. That's awesome.
You bet. Let's keep it rocking and rolling, and you guys are in control of that. All right. And by the way, Ellen, real quick, the Vimeo logo, where are you saying that is? On the very end or during the whole?
I already removed them.
That's why. Okay. I'm like, it's not there. It's not there. I'm not finding it. Okay, cool. Thanks, Tyler. Good stuff. All right. Is that it? Is there any other questions?
We have Sonia Smith. You can unmute yourself.
Hey, David, how are you?
Good, Sonia. How are you?
I'm good. So I have
Good.
a question. I've been like really working hard trying to do lead gen and through ads and different avenues like that. But the challenge that I'm coming across is trying to find a good like landing page source, because instead of sending them to specific pages, because I guess my goal is because I know a lot of people aren't going to basically apply right away, and I'd like to follow up with these people. So I guess I'm just asking, do you have any suggestions on how I can find some good landing page examples? Because everything I'm trying is kind of failing, or at least I feel like it is.
Yeah, I would say this. First of all, thanks for your question, and thanks for the happy Friday. I'm not a fan of landing pages for what we're doing. Not saying they don't work. We used to have landing pages. We killed them because we could see the traffic of coming and going and never filling out the landing page, because so many landing pages now are really lead sources and they sell the lead to others, and you end up getting spammed by everything. I don't fill out lead pages anymore. A lot of people will not fill out anything that has a lead page, especially in business. I won't do it because I know I'm going to get 700 sales calls from 15 different companies as soon as I fill out the lead page. So if you're using lead pages, anyone out there, no one's having success with it in our business, or I would know it. I know who's doing all the fundings. It's not through lead pages. I would say send them directly to your site. And if they don't fill it out, they're not interested. That's okay. They're going to see everything in your site, but you're not going to lose them on a lead page because it's too salesy or doesn't share enough or scares them. Frankly, you're giving them their right, or you're asking them for the right to have their mobile phone number and their email to call them. And a lot of people today are like, nope. So I think you're losing clients by sending them to a lead page. So I would say, if you're trying to do, I wouldn't call it lead generation. I would call it funding or healthcare or whatever the product is. And I would call it connecting. And your job is to connect with the right clients and our websites will connect with them. We've tracked the conversions. We see conversions. They're high conversions. We're always doing things to improve the conversions, like the videos. I think the videos will help conversions, and we'll find out. But by watching how many video watches we get compared to before, and what those people, what they turn into, if they turn into clients or not, or applications. But I think that what I would do, number one, is I would change your strategy to not be lead generation, instead be business connections. I'm in the job of connecting businesses with experts in our services. That's my job. And some people don't fit that. I'm going to learn that when I talk to them, or based on what I put on my advertisement or whatever. And if they come to our site and they don't connect with what's there, I don't need to be calling them. Why would I want to call them if they don't connect with what's there? I used to run ads, Google ads, real general, and I'd get 300, clicks a day, or, a month. And I was calling them and calling them and calling them, and like, oh my gosh, 98% of these aren't eligible. And it's a waste of time. And so I say, make the funnel get narrow quick. That's my personal opinion. But I'm not done lead funnels, lead generation like an expert. But we used to have them, and we pulled them because they weren't converting. And I don't know anyone converting with them now in our company. So, and I know many have tried them. We used to have
I definitely understand that, because I tried the Facebook and I haven't had any success. And I do realize I come to the conclusion that it's not the ads that I'm running. It's basically the business, and that's just not the way it hasn't been anyway. I'm around with different things.
I spent 50 grand on Facebook ads, got 2 clients. I spent, and that didn't pay for it, killed it. I've spent probably 150 grand on advertising over the last 7 years testing to try to find a model for all of you. I've not taught one except Google pay-per-click, and I don't even teach it. I just keep it running about $500 a month, and it pays for itself. It doesn't generate huge victories. You can't advertise the Bank Breezy name. You can't advertise the DAC name. You can't advertise. You got to, in fact, put them as non-links. So if someone types those in, your ad can't come up. It's very difficult to make it in the ad world. That's why old school, which is conversations and communications, is what we do best. Unless you're a social influencer who's educating through Facebook and through video, and you have an audience already, it's very hard. Not saying it can't be done, but it's very hard. Best thing to do is make a list, follow the training, call warm market, tell everyone in your warm market what you're doing. Put a smile on your face so your voice is high energy. Have a good attitude. Be confident about what you're doing. Call with purpose in mind. Call with help in mind, that you're there to help them with their business. It may or may not be the right fit. Have some energy about it, and call that list and just let them know, inform them, and go to chamber meetings and, Facebook posts and stuff like that. They don't even work
And I
selling
get that. I
skincare.
get all of that. I definitely understand the phones because I've been in call centers, so I know how that works. And I just, it's time consuming. That's one thing. So I'm just kind of trying to, balance a lot of things out. And as far as the ads, I've kind of given up on the Facebook ads. Well, not given up, but I'm not
Give
really
up on
doing.
them. Give up on
Okay.
them. Don't do
Okay.
Facebook ads. Do
But
free. Believe me, I hired 5 agencies. 5 agencies. Not one of them could get me a return on my investment of ad spend. Not even talking about the agency cost, just the ad spend. Not one of them, not one of the experts. So don't do Facebook ads. If you're going to do ads, do Google pay-per-click, but make sure
I
you're
do have the
following.
Google. I do, but
Cool.
that I guess that's why I was asking the question, because I want to make sure that I'm promoting the right page and just,
Yeah, make sure the ad, of course, we could have a separate training on ad, but make sure the ad is specific enough and that it points to the page, whether it's the gig funding. I would only go to the larger funding, obviously, because of the clicks. You're paying per clicks. And even if they get a $500 funding, you don't make a whole lot. So I would go minimum qualification. My ads are all big things like 25,000 minimum monthly revenue. I don't go with the 5,000 and 3,000. It's 25,000 minimum monthly revenue. You know who doesn't click on that? All the people who are doing 15 and 12 and 7 and 3 and 2. So I would, maybe one day we'll do a little training on what I've done that does work on Google pay-per-click. But there's what we do know works best is conversations that are heartfelt connections. So you're in the connection business. It's not a volume thing. Yeah, you need volume of numbers. The more people you talk to, the more success you're going to have. I'm talking to everyone right now, by the way, Sonia, not just you. The more conversations you have, the better you're going to do. But it's really a number of connections you make, and connections don't happen from a telemarketer. They happen from a person who cares, care calls. And so phone rooms blazing out 400 calls. We'll get a bunch of F-bombs and, there'll be frustrated people, but someone making 5 calls to people they know or referrals of someone they know and connecting, or 15 calls is going to have a lot more success than someone who makes 150 calls in a day. So it's not volume, it's connections. Great stuff, Sonia. And by the way, we'll put together some training, but I'd say follow what we've got in the training, try there. And it is time consuming, but it does pay well when it's working too. All right, PK, and then Nick Stir.
Sorry, David. I had one more question that I totally forgot to ask for Monday as I was listening to that whole comp plan, and the way things changed and the different ladders and stuff like that. And my question was, if I was originally a DAC level 4 agent, am I still a DAC level 4 agent going forward?
Yeah, we did not lower anybody. We actually improved. We made it easier to qualify for things, and we've increased pay. So you're still a DAC 4. You have to obviously be engaged to get your overrides, but you don't get DAC. We used to pay you your overrides on yourself. We'd give you 3% plus overrides on yourself, which would max at 4%.
Yes.
It would max at 4%. If you're a DAC 4, you were making 3.9%. Now you make 4%, but the overrides go to the upline. You now get overrides on your team who are at DAC 4. Before you didn't. So we've improved things. We're paying out more to the DAC 4s than we were in personal commissions. And you're also getting overrides on your team now, or eligible for them on your team, even if they're at the DAC 4 level personally.
Okay, that's what I thought. That's why I started re-listening to all of these videos that I've missed out on. And because it sounds like a lot better and greater commission payouts. But I just want to make a quick comment to the last person that was talking. I've never paid for advertising. I think, I won't say never. I think I paid $120 Facebook, and that's it. But in all honesty, it's warm market, face-to-face, warm market, face-to-face, pick up the phone, text people, especially if you see a truck driving by. Those are their cell phone numbers. Send them a text. I always say, oh man, I saw your awesome white Dodge Ram truck. It looks amazing with your sign on it. And they answer right away. because I gave him a compliment. And but it's literally talk to them, warm market. And it is being personal relationship. I had someone I talked to yesterday, and they say, tell me the difference between David Allen Capital and a loan shark. That's what they asked me. I said, I'm going to tell you the big difference, because I've been in the industry a very long time. A loan shark is going to treat you like a payday loan, and they're going to keep taking out and keep taking out and keep taking out, even if you have insufficient funds, and they're going to literally do the max that they can on your bank account till they just basically bankrupt you. I said, David Allen Capital, they're going to take it out. Hey, it didn't come out. They're going to pick up the phone and call and say, what's going on? There's insufficient funds. I go, they're not going to do anything like that. Plus, it's revenue-based lending. They're actually examining your bank statements, and they're not going to lend you an amount that you can't afford. You know, you could want 25,000. They're going to say, you know what? This is a good one, but literally to be safe, they really can only afford 15,000. Let's do the counter offer. I go, that's the difference between David Allen Capital and a loan shark. It's the integrity part. And that's what really sold the individual. And I'll be honest, he's getting me in his base group page to speak to everybody this weekend, to all the cleaning services that he provides. And it's the integrity. They've got to hear your voice. So I would say, forget the ads and just start talking to people. I mean, she sounds very professional and friendly to talk to. I would definitely go with talking to her before I went to her ad.
Right on. And by the way, thanks, PK. Great stuff. By the way, a couple other things. We're with Facebook. If you want to use Facebook, do live videos on yourself, but go to video, use video on your page. Do a little video with your hand in front of you. Walk down a business and say, hey, we just helped a business. Tell a testimonial. Share something. The more videos you do there, those pull more than Facebook ads. Good stuff. Okay, Nick DeHame. Triple amp. I think we got to get a stamp and just say triple amp and put it right on your forehead. How you doing, buddy?
Doing awesome. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
All righty. We are here in New Jersey. Just feeling blessed with everything that's going on. And just the other day, couldn't jump on the call on Wednesday. Wade's training, phenomenal training. I was actually on my way to see and visit with my sister, my 101-year-old grandma. So we had, I think my dad is currently right now with her right now visiting also. So well, it was a very special moment. But I wanted to jump on David real quick, and a great Friday call, and just give a shout out. I couldn't do this on Wednesday. I wanted to give a shout out to Wade Cordell and the whole Bank Breezy team, because one of those renewals was a large renewal. They were able to get that done within. I mean, the client submitted the application, I think it was at 12 at noon. He had an offer by 3 o'clock, and he accepted the offer within that time period. And they had him funded within, I think it was like 5 or 6 hours. So
how much was that one, Nick? How much funding was that?
That was a $95,000 funded deal. He had an amount still available that he was paying off from earlier in the year, from December actually. So he paid that off and netted a difference that he exactly needed. So it helped him out. It helped him out tremendously. And I just wanted to bring to everyone's attention those agents that are out there, or probably stuck in the middle, saying, how do we do this? And the simplicity of this, guys. I don't know if you can see it right here. I'm actually out prospecting right now. These are my drop cards from. I didn't get the Connect cards. These are my drop cards from last year that I visited. But I'll go back to this client, this renewal, and the other renewal, and the client from last week was. Those clients were all from a simple phone call, reaching out. And I'm talking about like saying, hey, John, this is Nick. Hey, Nick, how's it going? Yeah, it's like, you don't know me directly. I saw your business on Facebook. Oh yeah, how's it going, Nick? What can I help you? Yeah, I just wanted to let you know, I don't have a project for you right now, but I do work with your industry all the time. And, I just wanted to really establish a business relationship with you and maybe help you out in the future. Yeah, sure. What do you do, Nick? This is what I do, business funding, if you ever need it. I'm not saying you necessarily need this now, but if you ever have an opportunity, you need to float a project, you need to grow your business, I want to be your point of contact if that day ever comes. Would it be okay if I send you my email with my information? Save it if you ever need it. Yeah, sure. Go ahead. This is my email. Write down the information. But I just want to show the simplicity of it, because it's just, you're just speaking the truth. You're just telling them you want to help them if or when that day ever comes. You work with their industry and you want to establish a business relationship. And these 3 clients happened just like that. And it was after that, simple follow-ups once a month and a half later, just reaching out. Hey, just want to let you know I'm still here if you ever need me. We're getting great offers. We're helping your industry. If you have an opportunity, let me know. I'm your guy. Bam. What? Just simple follow-up. And what the business from last week was actually a referral from one of these calls I had made previously. So I always followed up with him. We have and you also establish a really personal relationship with all these businesses throughout that process, because after they see you follow up, not twice, not 3 times, not 4 times, but you within a period of a year, you followed up 6, 7, 8 times. They're like, all right, he's still in it. He cares about me. He's reaching out to me. They want to do business with you. So I'm having a lot of fun with this, guys, in person. I'm just taking full advantage. I mean, I'm on the way to charge gas, put gas in the car, and I see a pizzeria, I see a deli. I park on the side of the road. I get out. I walk in. Hey, is this your business? Yeah. Hey, how's it going, man? I just want to leave you this card. I was born here in Teaneck, and just want to let you know, if you ever have an opportunity, you want to grow the pizzeria, open a new location, I'm your guy, man. It's what I do. You may not need it, but if you do, you can give me a call. Bam. And you're just driving around. There's businesses everywhere, guys. So everyone's a prospect. You're here to build a relationship. The more hands you shake, the more relationships you make, and the more businesses you can help. So just get out there.
So this is awesome. We're going to take this little clip, and it's going to be a little training we put out. What you just did is we're going to take it, or you're going to narrow it down. So it's just you. You won't see me on here, and we're going to put this puppy out there. That's a great, appreciate the testimonial on it. So your outcome, you're not trying to get a funding customer right now. You're trying to get an outcome of a contact that you can send your information to or hand your card to for if and when they ever need it. You don't make them feel like you're trying to find out if they need funding right now. You don't make it. All you want to do is introduce yourself and get them some information. If it's
That's it, baby. It's just it's all about the relationship. And, the more relationships, the more hands you shake, the more relationships you make, the more relationships you establish, whether it's in person, whether it's over the phone. In person it's just gold, because you can look at them in the eye and they can see you. You can give them a smile. You can let them know really that you're there if they ever need it. But if you don't have that opportunity, or you don't, for some reason, I suggest you do, but if for some reason you don't want to go out, you want to make a phone call, well, make it simple and let it come out from your heart. It doesn't matter how you say it, or the words you use. Just know the simple, the simple meaning, the belief from your heart. We're in business funding. We're here to fuel the small business community, and you have a responsibility to let that business owner know. So just make it simple and have fun with it. I mean, it's a lot of fun, guys, because you start meeting these people, and also all these relationships you establish. This is what I wanted to end it with. All these relationships you establish, all these business owners like Pamela, right? Phenomenal. Congratulations, Pamela. She started off a relationship that relationship gave her contacts that brought her to a very large and amazing funding, right? So all these relationships you establish, as much as you can, just go out there, understanding whatever time you have available in a day outside of what you're currently doing, go out, make it. You want to make it an hour in an hour. I'm averaging in an hour that I'm calculating. I'm writing this down. you'll talk to about 7 to 15 business owners in an hour. 2 hours, you'll double that, right? Do that every day. Whatever, manage your time, and then be organized. Whatever business owner conversation you have or relationship you establish, it doesn't mean anything if you don't follow up, if you're not organized, documenting who you spoke to, how the conversation went. So it's a process, but you can have a lot of fun with it, and a relationship can bring you to a lot more relationships and helping out a lot more businesses.
Love it. Hey, great stuff, buddy. Great stuff. Glad you're in glad you're in the States. Sorry you're not up here in Michigan. And I heard you guys might roll through Greenville and see Wade and work in Greenville. And congrats. Happy birthday to your grandma,
Yes.
Matthew's mom, and your aunt. I guess your aunt's birthday is the same.
Yes.
And I think
Yes.
you guys don't they share a birthday with DAC? Is it the
Yeah.
same day or is it the same period
It's
of
the same
time?
day. It's the same day.
Same day DAC was born. Matthew's grandmother was born, Matthew's mother 101 years ago, and Matthew's sister, which of course is Nick's aunt and Nick's grandma. So what a blessed year and a blessed day.
Happy birthday,
Oh.
DAC.
Yeah.
For many more
and you
years,
as well.
forever.
Keep rocking, Nick. Keep rocking, buddy. You're being a
God
great
bless.
example, and you're inspiring a lot. I've got chills right now because you're inspiring a lot of people. This is what we need, more inspirational stories like you. So keep it up, buddy.
God bless. All glory. I just want to say also, I prayed on all the deals. I always pray over it as long as it helps the business. If it's going to benefit them, let it be done. And if it's God's will, it will be done. So I want to give glory to him also.
Amen. Love it. Thank you, buddy. All right, Ellen Wynn, you had your hand up again, did we not lower it?
Nope, I raised it again. Yep.
Okay, what do you got?
Nick, man, what a great testimonial, and congratulations to you and all your success. I know your belief in what we're doing here with DAC and your confidence level just exudes through your testimonial. And I encourage everybody that's listening today to take Nick's confidence and take Nick's belief level that he just shared with you, and let that be the driving force behind you. If you haven't had a customer yet and you haven't seen how this process works, because he's had customer after customer after customer and is really getting it done, but you can see how excited and enthusiastic he is because he knows the value that he's bringing to the customer. So thank you for that, Nick. One other thing too, David, you were talking about commissions today, and I wanted to point out, and this is a question that I get from the team members sometimes, is they don't understand, some people don't understand that when they get a personal client, they don't have to be qualified. They always get paid personal commissions on their own activities. So I've had agents before go, well, I'm not trying to get any clients because I'm not qualified, or I'm past my first 90 days. They misunderstand that part of the compensation plan. So just wanted to drive that point home. And then last but not least, I printed out my DAC healthcare brochure last night and have it with my QR code and everything. I love it as a great leave behind. If Tyler has an extra 30 minutes one day, would love to see him create one of these in Canva that just kind of bullet points all the different services that we have. So everybody could print one, have it as a leave behind, and then they could flip it around to whichever service they wanted to leave with. Kind of the Z brochure thing I talked about a long time ago, but that'd be awesome. Then we'd have professional brochures and everybody have the same thing to access.
I think
Thank
if
you,
you
David.
and Tyler communicated and you gave him the ideas of what you want on that Z brochure, I bet he could create it.
I bet he could, like in no time
So,
flat, because he's so
I'll
good.
leave that to you guys. I appreciate you offering. I know you've offered that for 4 years probably, and he's actually someone who can design it. So, and with Canva, it makes sense. So if you want to give him your thoughts, that'd be great, because you've got a real understanding of what you're looking for, rather than me calling you and talking to you to then transfer to him. Fair enough.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. All right. Well, I think that's it. Hey, I love that Nick got on. Ellen, thank you again for your kind words and your suggestions. And yes, you're right. The 40 personal commissions you always are eligible for. You never have to qualify for personal commissions. The only thing we might have is a $1 minimum before there's a cost to load the cards. And so there may be a $1 minimum or a $5 minimum before it's loaded to your Elevate. Right now we're loading even 22 cents if someone made 22 cents. But it's going to be pretty hard to, not make, you're making 20% of something. Everything, even our smallest customer, it still should be $1, right? 20% of $5 is still $1. So you'll get paid no matter what, the personal qualification. So thanks for mentioning that. As far as rolling, we got the incentives, what we got to do, everything we got to have, where we're going. So great attitude. But Nick, thanks for jumping on, because I agree with what Ellen said, your enthusiasm, your confidence, and the joy you're having. And I love, most importantly, you don't go in with an outcome of trying to get a client. You go in with the outcome in mind of trying to make a conversation, have a connection that you can get information for when your goal is to help build a relationship, help them with their business, but also when they do need funding, that you're their guy. I mean, you do want to have that, but you don't try to get that in the first meeting. So many people are trying, do you need funding right now? They just push people away. Nobody wants to deal with that. Nobody wants to deal with that person. So don't be that person.